Hi everybody, a very warm welcome to all of you. Thank you for joining us today. This is an information session on the Faculty of Information Technology, and we'll be specifically looking at the Bachelor of Information Technology and the Bachelor of Computer Science, as well as all of the other wonderful opportunities that you've got in the faculty. So I would like to introduce firstly Claudine, who's from the faculty, and I'd also like to introduce Adeline. Hi Adeline.
Hello.
And, Adeline is a third-year student in the Bachelor of Computer Science. So my name's Susanna, and I'm one of the careers advisors at Foundation Year, and it's really great to see you all. Please turn on your camera because we'd love to see you. And also, I would encourage you to type any questions or comments that you would like to make in the chat box. So I'll hand over to Claudine to start proceedings. Thanks, Claudine.
Thanks, Susanna. Hi, everyone. Wherever you are, good day. I always like to start by surveying where you are actually logging in from. So if you just quickly chat, put into the chat box, where are you currently located? It's just out of my interest. Hope you're all keeping well and safe. So today we have a current student with us. Susanna, there are two waiting in the room as well at the moment. So we have two students, one student, current student Adeline, who is currently based in Melbourne, and she's a third year Bachelor of Computer Science student. So she will share slightly later, or we might actually have a conversation as well. And of course, with me, besides Susanna, we have Kavi. Kavi, give a wave. Kavi's from
Hi.
college
From
as
diplomas as well. Yeah. And I'm a careers advisor for the diplomas cohort.
Excellent. So students, just quickly type, if you can, where you are logging in from. Are you in Melbourne? What country you're in? I'm just out of curiosity. In the chat box, I'd love to know where you're from. Indonesia, good to see you. Malaysia, Singapore, Kenya, excellent. Indonesia, wow, United Nations over here. Great. Fantastic. Good to see all of you in different time zones. All right. So let me quickly start. I've prepared a presentation here. And I think some of the questions that were raised from Susanna's survey will be covered in my presentation through either the points that I'm talking to or the videos. All right. So let's start with that. I'm going to share my screen. Okay. Susanna, you can see my screen? All
Yeah,
good?
all good, all good.
Fantastic. So my name is Claudine Moore. I'm one of the recruiters from the Faculty of IT. And today I'd really like to cement the idea for you to why choose IT. As I've introduced, for those who missed it, Adeline, who is a current student studying a Bachelor of Computer Science, is with us. She is in her final year. And interestingly, she is specializing in data science. And also she has used her electives to major in the Bachelor of Information Systems. So as I go through my presentation, you will also see the course map and something that you could potentially think about. I suppose if I do a survey today, right now, I'm sure all of you will have something smart, right? A smartphone, a smart TV, a smart equipment. So IT is very much embedded in our life. We all live now in what we call the fourth industrial revolution, or Industry X, which is a new digital paradigm where we have to embrace technological change, particularly in the current situation where our normal lives have been quite disrupted. So with IT being embedded in everything that we do, it really means there are lots of IT related jobs out there. So some of you may not be thinking about doing pure IT. Maybe you're thinking about maybe law. You could also think about, specializing in cybercrime, or combine a double degree. or you are into sports, and sports science, where you can utilize artificial intelligence to monitor and improve your performance. So let me start with a welcome video from one of our students.
Hi, my name is Tiffany. I'm currently a third-year student studying IT at Monash at Clayton. Come, I'll show you around. At Monash, you can study IT and computer science more broadly, or even specialise from day one. What's more, you'll learn from recognised experts who are changing the world with tech. Within the faculty, there are so many areas you can choose from artificial intelligence, data science, cybersecurity, and software development like me. As an IT student, you get so many opportunities to get hands-on learning experience, from industry experience units to the industry-based learning program. This is IT at Monash Clayton. Come have a look around.
Okay, and one of the questions I often get asked is, what sort of job will I get with an IT degree? Now, we've just fleshed out some of the areas that you can potentially work in. Okay, from climate modeling to, controlling flight paths, for example, and understanding the usefulness of data. We have an academic who does research in bees, okay? And it's all about pollination. And by doing the research on bees, he can help predict different types of climate change. So how useful it is and how multidisciplinary IT can intersect it in. Now, this slide is employment projection up to 2024, and it reflects different areas in IT. It's extracted from the Australian Government Department of Employment Skills. And you can see that it is a positive indication because all these areas with any form of IT is pointing up. This report is the 2020 Emerging Job Report from LinkedIn. And last year, they produced a top 15 emerging jobs. And out of them, 10 of them have some form of IT, again, related in it. In 2021, they produced a job on the RISE report. And one of the things that they highlighted out of it was the acceleration of how digital transformation and a lot of work have gone remotely. And one of the things that we all know as we work, people like us, from suits into probably active wear, from boardroom to bedroom, our whole transition in the way we do work and we study is different. And some of the jobs that are on the rise this year are e-commerce, digital content freelancers, social media, and cybersecurity role. On top of that, of course, the care economy, anything to do in the health area was obviously on the rise as well. And these are some of the jobs that our graduates went into, okay, and some of the job titles as well. So have a quick look. I won't go through them, but these are some of the job scope. And in Australia, a graduate salary is roughly, when you come out of university, is roughly about 64,000, but the growth is actually really fast in this industry. Within 3 years after graduation is, you could command a salary of up to 83K. It is one of the highest salary averages in Australia. And I guess how we adapted from last year and how we are teaching, all our lectures are live streamed and recorded, so it's on demand. Extensive use of different industry platforms, so we do Moodle, Echo 360, for example, where you can engage with our academics and also still have that teamwork. A lot of exams were pivoted online, but the university also introduced a lot of safety nets for students. And I was having a chat with Adeline just before this. She underloaded some of her subjects this year as well, just because of the situation. And one of the things that the faculty does is we've introduced peer mentoring. In fact, this has been in place even before the pandemic, but we've actually stepped it up. We now call it tech squads, where we will pair you up with a senior student. So the student is supposed to help you through your transition, whether it's academically or socially. We also have boot camps on coding, and just to supplement course content, and also our student services organize virtual social events to promote connectiveness as well. So what are the courses offered by the faculty? We have the Bachelor of Information Technology, Bachelor of Computer Science. Both these degrees are 3 years in length. And then we have the Bachelor of Computer Science Advanced, which is an additional year to the computer science degree, where you will be exposed to research if that's the path that you are interested in. Okay, so this is a 4-year degree. And of course, we also have this program, the Bachelor of Software Engineering, where we co-teach with the engineering faculty. If you're interested in this area, you'll be applying for the Bachelor of Engineering with a major in software engineering. Now, with the Bachelor of Computer Science Advanced, you don't have to necessarily make this decision right now. You may decide to go into a 3-year degree, and then along the way, realize that I'm quite interested in research. You can apply for the 4th year of study as well. One of the common questions that I get is, what is the difference between computer science and IT? Now, computer science is a little bit more mathematical. Well, it requires you to also think a little bit more mathematically and logically. And it's more about the theory of computer algorithms. Whereas IT is more about the application of those algorithms in a different context. One of an example that we use quite a lot is on Google Mapping. Okay, if you think about Google Map or how you use the GPS, from getting you from point A to point B, it's all about the algorithm. That's what a computer scientist does. Okay, to use the GPS system on different platforms, for example, on your mobile phone, on your computer, on your iPad, that's what a Bachelor of Information Technology student does. Okay, so that's just a very simple explanation of it. All right, now the Bachelor of Information Technology program offered by the faculty is 3 years in length. Within this degree, you have to choose one area to major in. As you can see, these 5 majors listed here. A major means you are studying 8 subjects in that discipline. Okay, but this degree is also very flexible and comprehensive. You could potentially do a double major. A double major means still studying 2 discipline areas within the umbrella of Bachelor of Information Technology. It does not extend your degree. Okay, you could do a major and a minor. A minor is 4 subjects in a particular area, or a major and 2 minors. So it's up to you how you want to curate your area of specialization. And on this slide, you will also see some of the possible career outcomes within this degree. So at a glance, your degree will look something like this. You will study a total of 24 subjects within your 3-year program. And your subjects will include core subjects. That means you have to do it. Your major subjects where you build your specialization in, and elective subjects. Elective subjects are really your free subjects. You could choose another discipline within the Faculty of IT, or you could choose subjects from outside the Faculty of IT, and you could make it a mixed list of subjects. So you could do, for example, a language and maybe even subjects from business if you wish. So that's how the structure of your degree looks like. And this is how potentially your course map would look like. So every year there are 2 semesters, semester 1, semester 2, and in each semester you do 4 subjects. And the colors are just indicating your core subjects, your major, and your electives. Okay. The Bachelor of Computer Science. Now this degree requires high math, because it's all about the algorithm, as I mentioned earlier. Within this degree, we have 2 specialization areas, which is advanced computer science and data science. Now, the advanced computer science is really about being analytical. It's ideal for every problem solvers. It will teach you how to design and implement software so you can pursue even careers such as software engineering or digital forensic investigation. Data science, like its name, is all about data. It spans deep learning, databases, data modeling, analysis, visualization. Not just seeing data, but how do you use data? How do you use data to predict and help business? How do you use past data to learn from it? So that's what you will learn within that specialization as well. At the university, there are 10 faculties. So there are definitely double degree combination options available to you. The combination is up to your imagination, up to what you're interested in. A double degree means it's an additional year of study, but it also means you are not doing, if you do 1 degree after another, it takes you maybe 6 years. For example, you do a Bachelor of Business and then you do a Bachelor of Arts, it will take you 6 years. But if you do a combined degree, it takes you just 1 additional year. So what happens is you will study the core subjects and the major subjects within 2 degrees in an extended year. So for example, if you do Bachelor of Computer Science in Advanced Computer Science and a Bachelor of Commerce, it will take you 4 years. But if you combine it with law, it will take you 5 years because law is a 4-year degree. So if you combine it with IT, it will take you 1 additional year, it will be 5 years. All right, and I think what's unique about the faculty is we do not only want to give you an academic training, we also want to make sure that you are job ready. And one of the components that's unique to the faculty is the work integrated learning component. The first one is called the IBL, Industry-Based Learning. With this program, it is competitive. You can apply into this program after completing 1 year. You need to achieve a 65% average minimum, and then you'll be invited for an interview. As you can see on my screen, some of the logos of our partners. You will recognize some of the companies. They are international and some of them are national. You spend, in this program, if you are successful, you will spend about 22 weeks in the company itself, applying your theory into practice. At the moment though, this program is only for students who are currently in Melbourne. So that's the other thing about this program, the attractive part about this program, there is also a scholarship attached to it, up to $18,000. Now, it is competitive, so not all students will get into the programs. You will be interviewed by the partners. However, work integrated learning is for all students. The second program is the Industry Experience Studio Project, where you will actually work in a team of 4 people, and you will work in a team in university trying to solve a problem given by the industry. Okay, and throughout your team effort, you need to be able to journal and also explain how did you come up with the solution. So, and throughout the whole process, you will be mentored by industry and also our academics. If you do games development, for example, within our Bachelor of Information Technology, then there is a studio project unit where either games development or interactive media, where you will have to build a game. And again, this is a team effort and it's a full year program. So it spans over 2 semesters, this studio project. And if you are going into that field, this will be your digital portfolio that you take away. And last but not least is the Monash Industry Team Initiative program. This is not special to only the faculty, it's university-wide, where it gives undergrad students and postgraduate students the opportunity to be part of a multidisciplinary team. This program usually happens around summer, and you will see it being advertised. Students will apply for it. Again, you will have to be subjected to interviews. And if you are successful as a team, you will go and work in a company or do your internship there. The difference is you will be with a team of people outside IT. So it could be IT, engineering, business, and science. As a team of 4, you will go and spend about 12 weeks from December to February based in a company and work, okay, applying your theory aspects into that project. I thought I'll share another video here. The next video is really about data science. And I think one of the common questions that people ask is, do I really need to be really good in math? So have a listen to this video.
The goal of our project was to build a predictive model using machine learning techniques that could predict in patients whether or not it was likely that they'd have heart disease. This particular unit was the most like industry work in the sense that you really own the full project from start to end. So having that whole holistic ownership of the project is really beneficial to entering the industry.
You can kind of make it as much as you want it to be. So I think that's really helped me, like having an idea of sort of how to manage my time and resources and energy to do like a full year project.
I'd say big data is a really well-known buzzword at the moment in the industry, and it's basically when the volume of data is so large that it becomes difficult for people to use it. There's applications of data science in many new emerging technologies, like even face recognition. That's a really key area that Monash students could go into, like exploring these data sets, and it creates real insight for these companies.
Maths was never my strongest subject. I like it, but I'm not that good at it, so I really worried about that. But what I found different with university maths, specifically in computer science, is that if you understand something, then you can apply it in 20 different situations.
For the computer science degree, you will have to study 2 mathematics subjects. They're slightly more difficult than the maths method subject you may have taken in high school. If you've never done anything in IT before, you've never coded, maths is probably the subject that's most similar to what you're going to be doing in computer science. There's a lot of industry demand at the moment for people who've studied computer science and data science, so it's always a great way to go in.
Not speaking from the IT industry, but I think people don't think psychology is like statistics and computers, but at least the area that I'm doing is. And I think it's really interesting how we can essentially use statistics and numbers to get insights into like behaviour and how the brain works.
If you're going to do this subject, pick one of the topics that you have an interest in, because you're going to be working with it for the whole semester. From doing our heart disease project, it really opened my eyes to how much in the medical industry certain things are ignored, because I know a lot of medications aren't even tested on women, and they're not even tested across different ethnicities, and that can create complications later down the line that people wouldn't have seen before.
Yeah.
Okay, and this is the entry requirement. For some of you who are coming through Murphy, I'm not sure there are any diploma students as well. I haven't put a slide on diploma here, but this is your Murphy requirements. And basically you add up your 8 highest score and divide it by 8 to get the average. So see the mathematics here that's required, minimum of 65% for computer science or advanced computer science. Okay. And the other short video I wanted to show you is about job outcomes. Okay. You will see how IT, and watch this video and then we can discuss about it. It's a really exciting video that we worked with Australia Open, you know, the tennis, and it's aligning to our mission statement, IT for social good. So let me just play this video.
When you have a vision impairment, you're frustrated a lot in your life without even realizing that you're frustrated, because you've got to focus on things extra. But when you have something to help it, that's when you feel the frustration go down and you're like, oh wow, I was actually frustrated watching TV.
tennis sadly hasn't been anywhere near as accessible as I would like.
I'm not a great watcher of sport because I can't see where the balls are.
So my dad has to commentate for me, and he finds it tiring sometimes because I can't see who's serving or the ball or the points.
It's a struggle, I must say, but you know, I've got to tolerate it and live with it at the moment until something else comes out.
We found a way using ball tracking technology to create a new experience of sport that's accessible for everyone.
We use Hawkeye data for our system, and what we get from Hawkeye is the 3D position of the ball and the players during the gameplay.
And we take that data and we turn it into 3D audio, what we call action audio. Action audio contains a wealth of information for blind and low vision sport fans to understand what's going on the court. From ball position, how close it is to the line, the type of shot they're playing. We're using sound in a way that could impact the experience of live broadcast sport for millions of sports fans around the world.
What?
Fantastic.
Forehand, backhand, 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 forehand.
What a rally.
I don't know why, but I can suddenly see the ball. I can actually hear everything and I can actually see the ball. For some reason, I can see the ball now better than I could see the ball before.
I wouldn't watch it any other way. You can just enjoy the game so much better.
I don't have to ask my dad, like, can you commentate? I can't see where the ball's going.
I like the sooner we can get this, the better. Do you reckon we can get it for this Australian Open? Would it work? For the one for this year?
At Tennis Australia, we're very proud to be launching an opportunity for everyone to enjoy the game. We are launching Action Audio at the Australian Open Finals.
Okay, last but not least, I will leave my email address here for you, for those who want to connect with me potentially after this, if I don't get to answer your questions. Okay, so with that, I will stop sharing now and we'll have a chat with Adeline. So wasn't that video amazing, helping low vision people see and watch the game and what it could do, you know, how IT is so embedded in everything now. So Adeline.
Hello.
How are you today?
I'm fine. How are you?
Good. Okay, so Adeline, you did Muffy. What year did you do your Muffy?
I did it in 2018.
Yeah. And then why did you choose computer science?
I think since I'm like back in my high school, I've been very interested in computer and like algorithms and mathematics. And I just feel that I just want to try something that I'm curious at. So I did try to challenge myself to do computer science.
Excellent. And can you just share with us also what's the specialization you're doing within the computer science degree?
Yeah, sure. So basically, I'm Bachelor of Computer Science and I'm specializing in data science. So basically, we are thinking about how the big data works, the algorithm of it, how it works, and like how Cloud Insight, how the maps work from going from point A to point B, how we can find the shortest distance or the cheapest toll or no toll at all. So we have various of paths that we have to think, and that would boost the problem solving skills that we have to achieve by the end of the degree.
And are you doing a major, are you using your electives for something else?
Yes, so I'm using my elective for my business information system and IT for business. Yeah, so I'm just finding another area of aspect that I am interested in, which is business. Yeah.
Fantastic. So Adeline, I mean, coming from Muffy and then transitioning to university, did you have any challenges that you faced?
So when I think there are some challenges that I have to face. When you finish your Muffy. It's more to like during your period or time in Muffy, you have that one-on-one support classes. It's like a classroom at high school with your friends. Then your tutors came in and you can just ask on a one-on-one. But when you go to university, it's just many students. I mean, like hundreds of students, and we only have one lecturer. So of course we have to take our time in asking questions or even like limited period of time. So that's one of the challenges that I have to bring up, that it's hard for me to talk to my lecturer or to my teacher. But at the same time, there are a lot of Faculty of Information Technology that offers us help from like extra class, like the Applied Pass, where they open classes for consultations. And then there's also peer mentor, or we call it tech support now. So we have our senior who's gonna guide us. And then we also have clubs and societies that helps us, you know, find another area of aspect, not just in academic, but, you know, something that we are really, really trying to think outside the box of it. Yeah.
So to summarize, I suppose it's a different ball game, because maybe when you're in foundation, the cohort is slightly smaller compared to when you transition to university, where it's a different, you know, group, larger group, and, you know, you just have to find what support services there are, and of course there is just an adjustment period as well. So well said. And were you involved in the peer mentoring at all?
Yes, I was a peer mentor in my second year.
Right. So what did that entail in the peer mentoring?
So there was a lot of activities that we have to do, like the student engagement tell us like, oh, we created this event. We hope that you and your mentees would come, and then, you know, make them feel comfortable in the area of IT. It could be like fun games night of coding, or even an example of hackathon, like a small hackathon. And as a mentor, I had to handle 3 mentees, and I feel that my mentees also talk to each other, which helps them have friends in their faculty itself, you know. Yeah.
Fantastic. So apart from, you know, being a student, you also hone your leadership skills as a mentor, which is fantastic.
Yeah.
And you touched a little bit about the clubs and societies. So I didn't have a slide on my presentation, but we do have about 6 or 7 different clubs within the Faculty of IT. So we have games, the Video Games Club, we have a MonSec Club, we have a Computer Science Club, Diverse IT, for example. So I would encourage you students to also join these clubs, because this is for you to build your networks and connect as well. So Adeline, you, what sort of clubs are you currently in, or have you joined, just to share a little bit?
So in Monash, I actually joined the Commerce and Computer Science Society, and also Wired.
Yes.
Yeah. So there's also this one society that back in my year, Wired was the only one that I know, and there was a book for it, and I was interested to join them and knowing everything, and I decided to join them for my first year. Unfortunately, because second year lockdown happened, so we didn't have much activity, and I took another organization outside Monash University.
Yep. So don't forget that you can also connect with the different societies outside the faculty as well. It could be from your nationality, for example, or you love Latin dancing, although, you know, obviously now with virtual is a little bit difficult. Not a very good example, but there are so many different clubs and societies that you could potentially participate in. And Adeline, I know now you are in your 3rd year. So are you working in not the IBL, because you did say you're not doing the IBL. Are you working on the industry experience project now?
Yes, I am doing a project right now. Yeah.
So it will be very similar to what I showed you in the video, because you're doing a data science specialization, yeah?
Yeah, but we, like what she said, that we have a different topic that we have to choose, and we have to work with random students to come up with a topic that appeals to the clients.
So I think what's important for all of you is the soft skills that we are trying to build within the work integrated learning. So you will, as a team, have differences of opinions, right? So it might be a challenge, and this is really reflecting real life when we are in a work environment, sometimes you're put into a project, you have to work with people that you may not necessarily like or may not necessarily get along, but you got to get the job done, right? So how do you then solve the problem and work together within a group to come up with the solution? So I'll be really keen to follow your journey, Adeline, to see how you track along with your project, because that's really a capstone as well. And we'll leave the conversation open, but one more question I have for you before we go on and address some of the group questions. What tip would you give to these students here that are now about to transition to university?
My advice is, if I would have known that last time, I would give it my advice to myself in 2019 that don't be scared. There's a lot of like support from the university itself, and try to be as curious as possible. Try to make it as if like, what do you want it to be? Like, why did you take this degree? Is it because you are curious of how the algorithm works, or is it because that you find it interesting and everything? So just never give up. And there's a lot of support that are being given by Monash to help you guys.
That's good. Okay, I wanted to also quickly share with you before we move on and address the question. The faculty has developed this quiz, and I'll share with you here so that you can see my screen. I'm not sure if you guys have discovered this, but we have developed this quiz called Find My Fit, F-I-T. Yeah, we'll play of words. Basically, it's about 13 different questions. It's a fun quiz, and it'll help you decide what area you might be skewed to. Because remember, Bachelor of Computer Science, we have 2 specialization areas. Bachelor of IT, we have 5 different areas you can major in, and 14 different minors you can actually minor in. And this quiz will kind of have you narrow it down. So if you go into this and just do the quiz, take the quiz, here, so there are questions, there are only 13 questions. It's also in Indonesian and also in Chinese if you want to do it in that, but obviously it's also in English. So have a play around with it. There were a lot of thought put into this quiz as well. All right, so I have one question here. Thanks, Marissa. If you do not have any background in coding at all, is it totally fine? The short answer to it is yes. You do not need to have any coding background to come and study in our degree, because the fundamentals of it in computer science, for example, will be your mathematics, as mentioned in that video. Adeline, did you have any coding experience before you decided to come and study with us?
I don't. Actually, I just went to Muffy and I learned my basic coding from Muffy. But then what I experienced is that in first year, everyone gets that basic teaching of programming. So your first year is all the basic and fundamentals that you have to be prepared for your second and third year. So what my advice is, no need to worry, just try to focus on your first year and everything should be fine.
Okay, thank you. So that answers Marissa's question. Of course, if you are already dabbling in coding and you're interested in it, that's great, so you'll be familiar with it. But if you're not, we will teach you that. Okay. I don't see any other questions here. Oh, okay. I have a question. As a Muffy student, if I get 65% in math, unit 1, do we still need to take math for unit 2? Yes.
No,
no.
Sorry, there's a change, yeah.
Okay.
So are we talking about the Bachelor of Information Technology here?
The question was from Vishnu. So Vishnu, can you clarify, please?
Yep.
Was it for Bachelor of Information Technology or Bachelor of Computer Science?
I'm planning to take computer science.
Okay, so if it's computer science, because you need mathematics, you will need to do both Unit 1 and Unit 2 mathematics.
Okay, thank you.
That's all right, you're welcome.
It's good to clarify all this now. And not so for BIT, is that right?
Yeah, so there's been a change. So with the Bachelor of Information Technology, because the entry requirement in terms of the prerequisite is any maths and achieving a minimum of 50% average, there's a new rule now. So if a student did do Unit 1 mathematics and passed it, they can now do, starting from this semester, Unit 2 fundamental maths and still get a mathematics Unit 1, Unit 2 sequence, okay? But in fundamental maths Unit 2, they must pass it, all right? So they have to get at least 50% and they'll still satisfy the maths requirement. So we're talking about 2 different levels of maths, but overall they'll still meet the maths requirement.
Okay, if that was unclear to you, please email Susanna later on. I will clarify that again for you to make sure, because I don't know at what stage you guys are at right now, so you need to get your subjects really correct. Yeah. Okay, there is a request for you, Adeline. A request that you share a little bit more on your experience on the Business Information Technology electives. So yeah, anything that you want to share on that?
Yeah, so I took my elective as my major because, like what I say, I am interested in learning business with a combination of IT. So we use IT to help predicting or forecasting business answers or business modeling. So like we learn how to visualize business, how to learn the profit and loss a business can have, and we also learned the case study of how the business uses their IT technologies, like for example, cloud computing and everything. So to make it more generalized, I guess, is that we don't learn formula of business like accounting or finance. It's more to your perspective from the IT background and how you can implement your IT in the world of business. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, so basically business information systems graduates will be able to explain to the business how technology is implemented and help them in their business. And if they go into a tech company, how the business can be transformed with technology. So you're kind of like a bridge between business and technology. I think one way of really clarifying that also is there are a lot of subjects and the explanation of the subjects in the handbook. So maybe have a read about that as well to get a clarification on what areas that you might be interested in doing. And really in your first year, you're really just doing a lot of core subjects that will then spark your interest in an area that you want to specialize in as well. Okay, but good question over there. I hope that now we have answered your question. Feel free to further ask questions if we haven't, because now is the time. We have Adeline here and we have two of my colleagues also here to support you.
I do have a question, Claudine, that I normally get from lots of diploma students. This is a general maths related question.
Yeah.
So we spoke about how mathematics, although you don't need to be a pro per se in maths, like, you can still do IT, but if a student is, say, struggling a little bit with mathematics when they get to university setting, where can they go for support? Or is there any maths related within the Faculty of IT support for students who are struggling with maths?
Okay, so 2 different degrees, right? You said IT. I don't know whether you mean information technology or Bachelor of IT.
As a faculty. So,
okay.
Yeah.
So obviously if that students math is not their best subject, but they can do math, you probably want to opt for the business Bachelor of Information Technology as opposed to the computer science degree. Okay, that will be first. Yes, there are support services. You need to reach out to first your tutors. Okay, and have a chat with them there. Secondly, we do have the tech squad or the peer mentoring as well. That will be your second point of connection as well. And try and flag that and reach out for help early don't be embarrassed, because university is a different ball game. It's you know, it's a lot of independent study. You need to manage your time. You need to be able to adjust to it. Seek help, because there is help there. So that would be the 2 points of contact. I would go there first. We do have our student services area as well. If you're really struggling and you really feel that, hey, maybe I need to do a different math or different subject, there is also change of preference. So, and then we also have Monash Connect, where you can get a lot of support services as well there. So I suppose, reach out. Yeah.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Claudine.
That's fine. Any other questions? Okay, Shaping, I'm interested in Manager of Games Development. So I want to ask, how is the Australian game industry and what about the job opportunities in that area? Look, the game industry is a multi-million-dollar industry, right? When in Australia, we are not one of the top 2 players. The biggest, I think, is China. Second is followed by India. But there is a lot of potential here. So it's developing a game, and within the game, you use different skills. For example, we have an expert in that area that I can connect you with, Josh Olsen. I think what we want to give you within that experience is developing your own game. And actually, I have a video of 4 of my students developing a game as part of their project as well. So within that industry, you have the narrative, okay? You can write the story within that, you can do the visual, you can do the music, you can do also the mechanics of it. I think there is definitely a potential in the industry. I don't know in terms of the big companies in that field. There is definitely jobs for you within that area. Shoot me an email, Shui Peng. I will connect you with the expert in that area to answer the technicalities of it. Okay, so I don't have the stats to tell you right now, but I know that industry is big. I don't know, Adeline, do you have any experience in that space? Any of your friends who have done games development that you want to share?
I think I just have friends who done that area, and I think they are more to designing the games and also, you know, fixing the bugs of like finding patches that you have to manage, updating that. But if you are thinking about working in the industry of Melbourne, like what Claudine said, it's a multi-millionaire company, and they would be willing to hire you guys if you guys do have experience in building games or, you know, building that, fixing that bugs or debugging in generalize. Yeah.
And also the other thing also is taking gamification to real life. Gamification is actually very much involved in everything that we do. What I mean by gamification is earning points and loyalty. A lot of big retails use it now. Myers, for example, if you are loyal to Myers, you get points and you go and shop there, and then if you buy more things, you get rewarded. That's gamification. And the basis of it is games. So think about it, even banks, there is gamification now. In fact, a lot of industries are using it. So the skills that you develop from that major may not translate to just a gaming sort of company, perhaps, but into a lot of different areas as well. Is the majority of the course in Bachelor of Computer Science related to math? Adeline, that's a question for you since you are doing computer science. I want to hear your take on it.
Yeah, only the first year we have 2 different maths. So we have discrete and continuous maths, different unit. And probably I would just say a quarter of it is maths. Other than that, it's just how you think using the mathematics logic. It's not you have to implement mathematics rules, formulas, or everything. It's just how you were thinking, like how do you solve an equation, but how do you solve it in algorithms or coding? That's how they want you to think. But to study maths and formula is just 1/4 of it.
And with that, I want to quickly also share with you, Marissa, the course map so you can have a quick look if you haven't yet seen it. So this is the course map for Bachelor of Computer Science. And I just chose data science specialization. So this is the subject, algorithm and programming fundamentals in Python. This is your programming subject. This is the discrete math subject that Adeline was talking about, and the continuous maths for computer science. Okay. I would share it here with you as well, the link. I might share the link to everyone if you find that helpful to navigate around the course maps. There are course maps for every different degree that we teach. I just want to check if I miss any questions. Anything else I can assist you guys with?
Actually, could I just ask a question of Adeline, please, Claudine?
Sure.
Adeline, what would be your main 2 top tips to our diploma and foundation year students that are looking at transitioning to the university in terms of setting themselves up for success?
Thank you for the question. I think I will just say the same thing, just ask for help. I think when I was in foundation year and going to university, I still contacted Susanna for help as well, even though I'm a graduate student from Murphy. But I didn't know who to email or everything. And Monash Connect is just a lot of students contact them. So I was just not confused on how to, but since Susanna was the one that have been helping me through my foundation year, so I was like, why not? And then she was still helping me and trying to supervise me at the same time. But I would suggest that when you go to university, right, when you want to try to be more independent, which you have to, is that just try to manage what you can and believe that you can do it yourself, you know, like believe the unexpected. Like you don't know your deep, like hidden skills and everything. It may come out in the first year or it may even come out in your 3rd year. So just believe in yourself and just try as best as you can. Yeah.
Great. I think with all of us here who've gone through it, university, I think 3 things for me that I take away. You know, I think even if I'm changing jobs, anything that's unknown to me, take a risk. Yeah. Try really hard. Try really hard. Okay. And you have to also be ready to fail. I think, you know, sometimes you fail and then you learn. So you have to have that 3, I suppose, mantra maybe to help you along the way. That would be my tip for you.
Yeah.
I think it's important to keep an open mind and be hungry. And from the point of view of being hungry, you've got that desire to learn. You've got that enthusiasm to try different things. And I would definitely encourage all of you to take advantage of the opportunities that come your way during your time at the university, because there are lots of them, and they will definitely look great on your resume, improve your employability skills, and also improve you as a person when it comes to sitting before an employer and talking about why you feel you're the best candidate for that particular graduate position.
I've got one more question that came through. Are there IT subjects during summer? And the answer is yes, Edna. In fact, actually, the university has introduced a 3rd semester this year and last year, which is the October intake. So our main intakes are February and July. We also run an October intake as well. And there will be a summer intake, but summer, usually the subjects are reduced. So you probably will have to see what's being offered.
Can I add on that one, Claudine?
Please do.
So when you do summer units, it's more on, rather than doing 6 months, you've only do 3 months and the classes are frequent. So like usually in 1 week, we only have 1 classes, but 3 lectures. But when you do summer, it's almost like 4 days of class, 2 day classes and 2 days lecture. Yeah. So it's very compact, as like you cut down half of your time in just doing it 3 months. But summer units is actually very good for you to, you know, try to practice on your holidays.
And also accelerate your graduation if you can plan it that well.
Yeah.
As well, and underload maybe in your final semester. That's another angle. Okay, Jack has asked me a question. If I want to study AI as a graduate student, what do I need to learn as an undergraduate student? I think any of those degrees, Bachelor IT or Bachelor Computer Science, you can still work in artificial intelligence. Remember, within the 2 degrees, it does not exclude you from working in that discipline. I spoke to a student who has graduated, and she recently secured a job in PwC, so one of the consulting companies. She did a major in business information systems. She got a job in cybersecurity. You know, it was just the skills that she have learned within her degree, and then obviously matched the job in cybersecurity as well. Artificial intelligence, the underpinning subjects are data science, really. So if you really want to focus in that area, you could do a Bachelor of Computer Science specializing in data science, but within Bachelor of Information Technology, you can do a minor in data science as well. Yeah, within the 14 minors. Yep. So that either way, you can go into that. And then we do offer the Masters of Artificial Intelligence as a post-graduation after that. So that's a specialized degree. Okay, so Jack, hopefully that was helpful. Any other questions? We've got 3 minutes before this session finishes.
You've both done a wonderful job answering all of their questions and communicating some fantastic information for them. So I'm sure they'll be in a position now to make an informed decision about whether IT or computer science is for them. So thank you very much to Claudine. Thank you very much to Adeline. And thank you very much, Kavi, for your support as well. I really appreciate it. Are there any last minute questions before we close today's session? No? All right, well, can I wish all of the diploma and foundation year students all the very best with their studies, and thank you very much to everybody for participating today, and may I wish you all the best for the rest of today. Thank you, guys. Bye.
Bye, everyone.